Good morning.
Good morning,
Good morning, everyone. You are tuned into Coffee and Donuts with Miss T.
Alexis.
Today is Monday, January 17th, 2022. It is at the top of the hour, 6 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Lexus, have you had your coffee this morning?
Of course, I've had my coffee and my donut.
And we all know that the early bird catches the worm always. Good morning to everyone that has just tuned in, everyone that has just come into the room. Today, our topic is be happy with what God has given you. We're going to
Oh,
go
yes.
ahead and say a prayer for those that we have on our prayer list. We're going to go ahead and read their names off. And remember, if you want to add your name to the prayer list or a loved one, please reach out to us on Instagram. The first name we have, Mama T said, please keep her on the prayer list. Her and her son, Mama T from Mama T Speaks, and her son, Corey Hurd. We also have Ashley from Ashley Rose Vlog. Please keep Ashley and her family in your prayers. Also, we're going to keep Miss Jamie Lynn Tabor in your prayers. Next, are you ready to go before God to pray for these people?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for another Monday morning. And Lord, everyone that is on our prayer list, we ask you to touch them in a very, very special way. Lord, also touch our listeners and our supporters. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I want to say good morning to Aerolist Fashion that has just come into the building. Good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Donuts. We're here Monday through Friday, 6 o'clock a.m. to 7 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. We are doing fine this morning. Our few announcements that we have are if you want us to give your channel a shout out, if you want us to send a happy birthday wish to someone or to you, please reach out to us on Instagram at W.T.F with the Family Tabors. And each Friday, we will highlight a different YouTube channel. Also, if you want to send us happy mail, the address is P.O. Box 443, Indianola, Mississippi. That's INDIANOLA, Mississippi 38751. Okay, and I do have a birthday shout out today. It's my own brother Michael. He mentioned it to us on actually his birthday is January the 15th. He shares the same birthday as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And he told us the other day, he said, why don't you give me a shout out on your channel? And I said, sure will. I will do that. But I forgot on Friday. I forgot. So today I'm saying happy birthday to my only brother. He turned the big 5-0 on January 15th. So happy
Oh, yes.
birthday to Michael. And I hope God blesses you with many, 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 many more days. Okay. All right. Now let's get into this topic. Alexis Ice, you want to go ahead? Let me read the topic again. The topic is being happy with what God has given you. Okay? Terry to it, Alexis Ice.
The subject is very, very self-explanatory. Be happy what God has given you. A lot of people are living a life of unhappiness. They are looking at what their neighbors have, they're looking at what their coworkers have, they're looking at what their family have, and they are just really, really unhappy. It's like they want to uh envy the next person, but you should allow your happiness to come within. Be content, where you're at right now. And if you want to grow, strive for, getting better, for improving. But at the same time, you can't be so jealous of looking at what others have, that it makes you live a uncomfortable life. Because everyone in life goes through a certain time where, they just have to be content and allow God to take them, higher, whether it's a promotion on your job, whether it's a better home, whether it's a better car. There are times when we just have to be content, until better, reaches us.
Right. You know, I am reminded of something that our mom. Okay, we have Rico Lewis in the building. Good morning.
Good
Rico Lewis
morning.
said, "Looking at what we have rather than what God has blessed us with, blessed us to be able to do." That's right. That's right. I totally agree with that. And I'm also reminded of what my mom used to tell us growing up. Okay. She always told, she has, her and my father both have taught us so many life lessons. They have taught us so many things growing up, and a lot of things that they have taught us, you don't understand it or accept it really until you're an adult yourself and actually going through the growing pains of actually going through what the life lessons that they have actually taught you. And one thing I remember them saying is, don't worry about what the next person has. Now, we had everything growing up. I must say, we never went without anything. We always had 2, 3 cars. All we lived in the same house. My parents still in that house right now. So we had a good bringing up. But she always taught us to be happy with what God has given you. Don't be jealous of what the next person has, because you don't know how that person got what they have. You know, as far as living where a person lives or driving what they drive, you don't know how that person got there. You don't know if that person is up to their head in bills and can't even get a good night's rest because they're worried about what's getting cut off tomorrow, or what bill is due tomorrow, not having enough money to pay the bills, but you living this lavish lifestyle. You don't know what that person is going through and how they got to where they are. So be happy with what God has given you. Go to school and get your education. You can live however you wish to live, but don't be jealous of the next person and try to cover what they have, because you don't know how that person got what they have. That person may live a lifestyle where they have to always look over their shoulders to live that way. So don't be so quick to always want what the next person has. God will give you the desires of your heart. Am I telling the truth, Lexus? He will give you the desires of your
Yes,
heart. So
yes.
don't be quick to look over at the next person to try to. I wonder how they got that. I'm gonna get. It's okay to say, "Oh, that's nice. I like that." It's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to a point where you have envy in your heart and jealous, or like the people say now, you are hating on the next person. Don't be like it. Don't be like it. Everyone has a time and a season for blessing. It may be that person's time. So you can't just sit back and, wonder how they got that or try to cover what they have, because you don't know how they got it. Even that's in real life. And to connected to, these YouTube streets, how they say, you may be looking at another person's channel and the growth of their channel. You know, you don't know the work, the hard work, and the ethics that they put behind to growing their channel. It just may be their time, and having a YouTube channel, that's a lot, that's a responsibility, and it's a platform that can't be used recklessly. A lot of people get on I'll say social media, period. They get on here and knowing that our voices reach far and wide, and they are reckless. They're spreading false information. They are using it to hurt other people, and a lot of times God is not going to bless your platform because the little bit that He has given you, you're reckless with that. So why would He enlarge your territory for you to corrupt more people, for you to spread more false information throughout, the social media waves? Why would He do that? You can't handle it. He's giving you what He feels that you can handle, and look at how you are treating the little bit that He is giving you. You can't even handle that. You don't even know how to appreciate that, and just let that work. Let that work for you. Because the minute you feel like you want this mega platform, you're reckless enough now. The minute you feel like you deserve a platform, think about how many people you're gonna destroy. You're not ready for it, and God is not gonna allow you in YouTube or your real life to grow because you can't handle what you have now. You can't look at what other people have because maybe it's their time. Maybe God blessed them with that because they've gone through trials and tribulations. They lived right before Him. They put the time and work in. You haven't put time and work in. So why do you feel you deserve what someone else has and you have not walked in their shoes? You don't know what they have gone through, and God has blessed them, to get where they are now. You don't know their backstory. The only thing you're looking at is what's on the outside, and you want what you see on the outside. But in the inside, there's so many trials and torments, and they have a story to tell you. You know what they've gone through to get where they are. So be happy with what God has given you. If you want more, you get on your knees and pray and ask God to humble, to give you a spirit to be humble. Because a lot of people out here not humble. They think it's something supposed to be given to them. And it does not work like that. Humble yourself down, first of all. Humble yourself down. Crucify self. Get out of your own way, because that's the problem. You are in your own way. Whenever you get so big, like you know everything and nobody can tell you anything, God can't even use you because you're too big for Him to teach. So why would He give you any more? And you got this big head, like can't nobody tell you nothing. You know. So that's my take on it, Lexus. Yanni girl, welcome to Coffee and Donuts. Lexus Ice, go ahead.
And then you know one thing, another thing is, you can't allow social media to fool you. Especially, I see a lot of people, they look at other people like couples that are getting married, and they
Yeah.
see this pretty picture that is built, these smiles, they see the big weddings, they see all of this, and I have to tell people, you can't base, you're getting married off what you see somebody else doing. You can't base, okay, I just saw my friend have $100,000 wedding. So guess what? I'm going to have $100,000 wedding. You can't base that,
No,
off
you
of
cannot.
what you got going on, because you don't know how they paid for that hundred thousand
That's
dollar wedding.
true.
You
That is
don't know
so
if they
true.
are in debt, even when the wedding is
Yes.
over, still trying to repay loans for
Yes.
that $100,000 wedding. So
Yes.
you just got to do you. You got to be content with where you at. You got to, you got to make up your mind. Okay, this is what I can afford. This is what I can afford. This
Right.
is what I am going to do. I'm not going to, try to be like the next person.
Right.
Because I know I don't have that. So I'm just going to be happy with what God has blessed me with, and I'm going to move forward. And a lot of time people, they look at, oh wow, they have this big house, they have this big car, but at the same old time, do you know how they got the big house? Do
Right.
you know how they got the big car? They could very well be driving in this car that can be repoed at any time because
Exactly.
they hadn't paid the bill. They could very well be living in a home that could be facing foreclosure.
That's
You just
true.
don't know. So you should not base, your life off of what someone else have, because you don't know what they're going through. You can't base your life off, oh, that's the perfect couple, because that couple may not even be sleeping in the same room at night. They
Exactly.
just may come out with a smile,
Yes.
just getting along just to get along. You
They make
know.
they
So,
they they come outside and put
uh-huh.
on this smiley face like they're such the perfect couple, and then when they get home, they're fist fighting like two strangers out in the street.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. You are exactly right.
Okay, Rico says, patience, consistency, and originality goes a long way. That is so true. Good morning, Stephanie Crafts and Creations. Good morning, ladies. Good morning to everyone in the chat and work listening in. Thank you so much for listening in, Stephanie. How are you? I was going to make a point, and I forgot what I was going to say. I should have written it down. Um, I forgot what I was going to say. I guess if it's meant for me to say it, He'll bring it back to me. If it's meant for me to say. The one thing that I do want to add is that um God does not favor one person over another. You know, did I say that right? Does he have special people he blesses, special people that he does not bless?
He has no respected person.
Good morning, Frank TV. Good morning, Miss Shawanda Wing. Good morning. Have y'all had y'all coffee and donuts this morning? The one thing that if you all don't take anything else from this topic this morning, the one thing that I do want you to take back with you, and that is to be humble, um, be happy with what God has given you. Look around. Be happy with what God has given you. And make sure you go to Him and ask Him, what is it that you are not doing? You know, ask Him, for more. And he may say it's not even your time to get more because what you have, you don't know how to handle that, you know. All of us want in life to be successful. Nobody wants to be in a shoebox. Everyone wants to be successful. Even on YouTube, everyone wants a bigger platform. Or you may not, you know, um, you may not want the bigger platform. I feel like the platform that you have, you can reach people. You don't have to have a mega platform in order to reach people. As long as what I'm saying, even with coffee and donuts, as long as what I am saying reaches one person, maybe it's for that one person to receive it. Maybe God has prepared that one person that day to come on to Coffee and Donuts, and that's the word that God wanted that person to hear. They just so happened, to tune in that day and get it. If that one person received it, then that's enough for me. That is enough for me. A lot of times, I'm looking. I don't want to call this person's name, but I remember years ago, my mom worked at the college, and I remember years ago, she introduced me to. I don't know if I should say the person's name or not because I don't want to be reckless with this platform. I just she introduced me to this evangelist back in the late 90s. She introduced me to this evangelist. Now, this evangelist, we had her on back then it was cassette tapes. We had her on a cassette tape and we got the DVD to see the conference that she was in. This evangelist was so powerful. You know she was anointed and she was called by God, and there's no debating that. She was anointed and called by God. Some people call themselves and they're not called by God. It's a difference. If God has called you, He has qualified you, and He has anointed you. He has prepared you to talk to people. You may have a mean, cold-hearted person, but if God has led you to that person, you may say, "No, that person there got a bulldog spirit. I'm not going to talk to him." But if God has laid it on your heart and has given you a word to go talk to that person with that bulldog spirit, if God has sent you to that person where He has chopped other people's head off, if God sent you to that person, He has already conditioned that person's heart to receive, what you're about to tell them. That's why you have to wait and listen for God's voice before you do any ministry. You have to wait for God to tell you, go to that person. You have to God's voice and not your own big-headed voice. Get yourself out the way. If God has sent you to somebody, that means He has conditioned that person's heart to receive what you're about to tell them. Just like on YouTube, if God is giving you a message and it's truly from God, somebody out there is going to listen. You may not have 20 people on your platform, but if God is giving you something to give somebody, that person who is for will receive it, and that's all that matters. It does not have to be a mega platform. It just has to be that person that's meant to hear it, that he gets that information. Now, going back, and a lot of people can't have big platforms. Going back to this evangelist. Good morning, Annabelle. Going back to this evangelist. This lady was so, um, she was so anointed. And back during that time, she had a long black skirt on. She had her white little jacket. She had a scarf she wrapped around her neck because she sweat so she sweat so bad the sweat would drench her shirt. So she wore like a rag around her neck to catch some of the sweat. Next side, she's still there. What's up, boy? Stop
I
capping.
I am still here. I'm still here now.
Okay,
And I know
so
exactly,
So this
can't be
lady was so
reckless though.
instrumental, and I loved her. She was so real. She would talk about, a lot of people when they come to church, they want to hide their lifestyle, and I understand it because sometimes people won't let you forget your lifestyle. They feel like the God that forgave them for their mess that they was in, that He's the same God that will forgive the next person for their mess. It's the same God. If He forgave you for sleeping around, don't you know He forgive me for that same sin? But people in the church forget that, But anyway, but she was transparent and she would let you know the type of lifestyle she lived, and telling somebody how God has delivered you from a certain lifestyle that would break yokes with other people and help that the next person because they feel if He did it for you, I know He can do it for me because it's the same God. We're serving the same God, so He's not gonna forgive one person and not forgive me, for my sins. But anyway, going back to this evangelist, she was so anointed, and you couldn't help when she talked. You couldn't help but listen to her. You couldn't help but listen to her. Okay, over time, her platform grew. You can tell she started to change. Now, the smaller platform she had, you can tell she stayed connected to God. The way she dressed, you know, she stayed connected to God. As her platform grew, the way she dressed changed, the way she wore her hair changed, the way she preached even changed. The company she kept even changed. You understand what I'm saying? She got as she grew, she got disconnected from God because she got the big head and she started associating herself with all the things that she said she once would. A lot of people can't handle it. That's why God keep you at a certain level because you cannot handle the next level. You want that next level, but you can't handle it because you'll disconnect yourself from God. So He has to keep you where you're at to keep you closer to Him. Does that make sense?
Yes,
So
ma'am. It
this
makes a
woman, I
lot of
watched her
sense.
through the years, and I stopped watching her. I stopped watching her because she, the makeup became just. I was like, I don't even the person she was back in the '90s, and the person she became after 2000s. It's like a total transformation. The person now I understand changing wardrobes to adapt to the times of changes. That's not what I'm talking about. She became someone else. She became someone else, and she lost me along the way. She ended up getting married 2 or 3 times, ended up being in so many scandals. And don't get me wrong, you don't have to be in stuff for mess to follow you. Somebody can scandalize your name, and you may be innocent. But in this instance, her platform grew and she changed. She lost me. She lost me. And I'm just going to say this one thing. When I first heard her, she was preaching no more sheets. That's the first time I was introduced to this person. No more sheets. And sheets is Sheets. That's all. I'm not going to call her name, but was so powerful and she got my attention. But now I don't even follow her or anything anymore because she lost me a long time ago. When she changed, she lost me. She lost me. And I'm sure she lost me, and I was young and impressionable back then and living a college life, and she got my attention. Even though we were raised in church, my mom introduced me to her. And I'm like, wow, when it got the CD so I could sing with I hadn't seen her. I just heard her voice. I said, who is this person? Back in the 90s, social media was nothing like it is now. So I went and found the DVD and I watched her. I was so mesmerized, and I just sat there and watched it. And I kept that DVD. I watched her over and over. Even she after No More Sheets, when she went on to do other ones, when as time went on, she lost me. She lost me. So in that sense, I'm saying God may not want you to have a larger platform. So stop watching what other people have as far as houses and cars, and as far as YouTube, the bigger platform. You're not ready for it. You are not ready for it. When you have these larger platforms, you cannot spread false information. That's why YouTube will delete videos. That's why they will take channels away, because you're spreading false information. You have to be careful about what you put into these airways. You have to do your research on things. You can't just read something on Google or read some go to what is it? I was about to say Wikipedia, but it's not it's Wikipedia. Dang, what's that thing? Anyway, you can't go to YouTube, I mean to Google, and read, a paragraph or two and then try to tell people about it. You have to do your research. Before, whenever you hear me speak about something, you can be sure that I have done my research about it. Now I use myself for instance, with us coming to YouTube back in 20, because this year's 2022. So back in 2020, when we first came to YouTube, I had not done any research, and our channel, in my opinion, it flopped because we never got more than like 200 something subscribers. I didn't do the research. I didn't learn how to network. I didn't know, learn how to maneuver through YouTube, make connect people. I didn't know anything. I just went head first. So it didn't work out for us, and we quit. We came back in 2021. I had done research, learned a little something, and we got I mean, in a few months, came back in July, and by December we were had over 1,000. 2 weeks later we were monetized because I put the work in and I did the research. You cannot go head first into anything, and spreading false information over YouTube is reckless, and God is not going to bless your platform because you don't know how to handle the little bit that you have. Make sure you do your research before you come out here in these streets, telling people things, offending people. Make sure you do your research, and not only one reference. Get you two or three different references and cross reference, and make sure you have your information straight before you get on your platform talking out the side of your neck. As Bell said, if you are having a hard time handling 500 subscribers, how in the world do you think you can handle 5,000? You cannot. You can't. You can't handle it. You cannot handle it. And then you get upset with other people because their platform is growing. People have put blood, sweat, and tears into growing their channel. You have to realize the main thing, put the work in, put the time in. When it's your season and God sees fit for you to grow, it's gonna blow your mind. It'll be your time. Nobody will have to question anything. When it's your time, it's your time. And I'm not talking about any particular person. I'm speaking in general. I'm never gonna talk except that evangelist I was talking about. I was talking about a direct person then. But when we get on here, it's just general observations, and we're not directly talking about a particular person because we all fall short, and no one can judge anybody. I'm never gonna judge anybody because that's not my place. God is gonna judge us all. You just make sure when you get to that gate that you don't have, like, people say, gate trouble. The sins I have committed, you will not be judged for them. You're going to be judged according to your own sins. So it's nothing I can say against you because I don't have that power or authority to judge anybody. And that's the way I feel about that. Good morning, Embry Family Entertainment saying good morning. Good morning. Stephanie Crafts
Good
and
morning.
Creation says this is good. Thank you so much. Oh, and as you all know, you can always come up to the panel. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but the panel is always open for someone to come up. If they want to say good morning, I'm on my way to work, or just stop by to say hey, and that's it. You never have to show your face. You always can use your avatar, because we are basing this coffee and donuts like a radio show. And my inspiration for this came from the Tom Joyner morning show. I worked out of town for years, and this is what the Tom Joyner is what I listen to every morning on my way that long ride to work. So this is what coffee and donuts is what we base it off of. Is that right, Lexus Ice?
Yes, ma'am, and you have said some great information. You've even encouraged me. You didn't even know it. Just sitting here, just
What?
listening.
Come on now.
Yes, yes, just listening to what you're saying. And you know one thing. A lot of times, I often tell people, sometimes it's just not your season for different things.
Hmm.
Everyone goes through different seasons, and sometimes, we want to run head first and say, "I want this." But sometimes it's a process of where we are in our humbling state, so that when we get what we really want, we can appreciate it. A
Yes.
lot of times somebody may want a big mansion, but you can't even appreciate your two-bedroom apartment because you don't keep
Right.
clean.
Right.
You may want the luxury style car, but at the same time, the little small car that you have, do you keep gas in it? Do you keep it serviced?
Do
So
you
a
keep
lot
it
of times,
clean? Do you keep your car
exactly.
clean? Yeah.
Exactly. So a lot of times, uh, we gotta just wait our time. It may not be our time,
That's
and we have
right.
to wait it out. And sometimes waiting is good because in your waiting season, you will appreciate, the
Yes.
next thing. You appreciate your promotion on your job, making more
Yes.
money than was at when you was at the lowest position on your job and you weren't making the salary that you wanted. But now, okay, you got the promotion. You can appreciate the extra money.
Yes.
You can appreciate now being the boss on your job when at one time you had to come suggestions to up to three or four people. But now
Right.
you're the boss. You can appreciate. Just you can appreciate it.
That's
And
right.
so sometimes it just may not be that time right now. You just have to wait your turn. Wait your time. You'll be okay.
Yeah. Because it may not mean that he won't give it to you. You're not ready for it right now. You got to go through a change. You are not ready for it. You have to humble yourself down and learn how to be appreciative of what you have, and stop acting like you're entitled to it, because you are not. You have to put blood, sweat, and tears in. We are not entitled to any of God's blessings. It's by His grace and mercy that He gives it to us, but we are not entitled to none of it. We aren't entitled to it. And I don't understand how people feel like it's a given, like you have to do it. No, you don't have to do anything. You have to wait for God's time. Our timing is not God's timing. You may feel like you're ready, but you're God's child. Don't you know, like our parents and naturally? So don't you know your parents know their children individually? They love all of them, but they also know each personality individually. They know what this person, the limitation on this person, what this person does, what that child, the next child. They know their children. So just like with God, we are all God's children. Don't you know He knows us individually? He knows He gives this to one person, how they gonna treat it. If He gives you this, you gonna treat it. He wants to bless all of us, and He loves all of us. But He can't treat all of us the same, because we won't handle it
You're
the
exactly
same.
right.
He
You know
won't
something?
handle it the same. So,
Exactly. I know I know this family, they had kids, and so when one of their kids graduated from high school, their child was gifted by them with a brand new car. Well, then the second child came along, and the child just knew, when graduation day is over, I'm gonna have this new car with a big bow on it. Well, guess what? The second child did not. And the reason why, because the parents knew that their children, and the
right,
parents knew, okay, we can trust the first child. We could trust them with a brand new car to go off to college. But then the second child, oh, we can't trust the second child. It's going to be reckless. It's going to end
right,
not good. It's going to end up, probably, causing them more headache than just
right.
getting the child the car. And they did not. And the child didn't understand it, but the parent knew the limitations. And, like you said, your child. It's just like, little Jamie Lynn. Jamie Lynn is only 1 year old, but little Jamie Lynn, you know, you know her.
Honey, Jamie Lynn have fit, and I don't know what it is. Every time my phone rings or dad phone or she feels like that's her phone. Like
Uh-huh.
she don't have to play phones or anything like that. She has tons of toys, tons of things for little girls that she can play with. Um, but she don't want that. She want the real stuff. Like with pots and pans, I saw she was interested in, when I'm cooking, get my pots and pans and stuff.
Hmm.
And my mama said, buy her a little kitchen set, get her some pots and pans. So we ended up buying the same kitchen set and didn't know each other was getting the kitchen set. She ended up having two. So, and guess what? Even with
Hmm.
all of that, guess what Jamie Lynn still wanted?
Yeah, what's the real
The
thing?
real pots and pans. She was under the cabinet the other day. It was a big, the tall pot that they do the boils in. It was stuck under it.
Uh-huh.
She was trying to get it. She was trying to pull the handle. I said, "What you trying to get, Jamie Lynn?" I closed the cabinet up. Her strength is so strong. She opened it right back. She pulled on that pot until she got it out. And I said, well, what you cooking? And I just, mom just let her have it. So you know what each child is capable of.
Mhm.
You know your child.
Mhm.
So you don't be covet hearted of the next person. Just stretch out before God and wait your time. He may have it for you, but it's just not your season. It's not time because you don't know how to handle the little bit. Be humble, get out of your way, and listen to God and let Him guide you. And when He feel that you're ready for that platform, He will give it to you. He'll give it to you, and you're gonna be so mind blown, and you're gonna look back and say, "Back then, God, I wasn't even ready for it. I understand why you didn't give it to me when I wanted, because I wasn't ready for it back then. I was not ready."
And you know something, and people can get in positions and they are not ready for it. It will become a total
Reckless,
just mess,
reckless,
reckless.
yes,
I can
reckless.
remember just, when I was teaching in the school district, that was one year, the school was doing good. You had teachers that was there that had been there forever. They could have retired, but hey, they enjoyed what they did, so they continue to work. And we
Right.
inherited this
What's up,
principal.
Derek? Sorry, Alexis. Good morning, fam.
Uh-huh.
Glad to see you. Yes, we are much better. My voice still a little regular, but it's okay. Go ahead, Alexis. I'm sorry.
Okay, and so the school was doing very well. Like I said, there was people there that could have been retired, but hey, they love what they did, so they continued to teach. And
Yeah.
we inherited this principal that was young, first year principal, and oh my God, at the end of the school year, the school was just like a tornado. It was
Mm,
people that, hey, let me go ahead and retire because I can't deal with this another year. Just reckless,
mm.
total reckless. Had the education, but did not have that
The people
the
skill or
wisdom
the
and
love.
knowledge.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, that wisdom and knowledge to actually be a principal. And not just that, it's a lot of people that are in position that are just make people don't even want to report to work, just reckless with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Don't have the wisdom and the knowledge, to do what it is that they need to do, and they just reckless. And this morning, don't be that reckless person. Just don't be
Right.
that reckless person.
The platform that you have, be content, be satisfied, and wait for God to enlarge your territory. Don't look around at what the next person has. Be happy with what He has given you. That's it in a nutshell. It's 64. You have been tuned into Coffee and Donuts. We are here Monday through Friday, 6 o'clock a.m. through 7 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. And it's about that time, y'all. Let me go ahead and get these few announcements before we go on to work day. If you
Oh,
want
yeah.
us to give your channel a shout out, or if you want to send a happy birthday wish to yourself or to someone that you love, um, or if you want to broadcast your channel here on Coffee and Donuts, please reach out to us on Instagram at W.T.F Family Tables. Each Friday, we will highlight a different YouTube channel every Friday. And most likely, it's going to be a small YouTube channel to help them grow. you know. Um, so each Friday we'll highlight a channel, let them come up to the panel and tell you about their channel and what they do over there. If you want to send us some happy mail, the address is PO Box 443, Indianola, Indianola, Mississippi 38751. And I want to send a special birthday shout out to my brother Michael. Again, his birthday was January 15th. He turned the big 50. Somebody's
Oh
old.
yes.
If we want to recover from COVID, we would have gave him a big celebration. But I'm done with these gatherings, honey. I don't care
Oh
how
yes.
small it is.
Mhm.
We're gonna go back to celebrate in our house like we did when this thing first hit. Because what we've been
Exactly.
through these last couple of weeks, I don't want nobody to go through it, and I'm not
Oh
gonna be a
no.
part of it. So
Me either.
me and my
I'm not gonna
small
be a part
family,
of
we're gonna be at home celebrating. Do you hear me? And that's all. I don't care who have what. I'm not going.
Me
I'm not
either.
going.
Me
No, ma'am.
either.
Mm-mm.
I'm sorry, I'm not going.
Not even for me. I'm just that I couldn't even take the pain away from my own child. Trying to breathe. I'm not doing it. I don't want to go through that. So
Exactly.
anyway,
I feel the same way, And you know one thing? My stance with that. I really never wanted together, but I would just come around, just come around. But yeah, after what we've gone through, oh no, it's just for me and my house, we
no,
in
honey.
the house.
We gonna we have a good time over here with just us, you know. So we're gonna go ahead and get out.
Okay, at least I got
Go
one
ahead, go
announcement.
ahead, go
Give
ahead.
us a viewers topic for Wednesday.
Oh, I
We need something to
forgot.
talk about. Yeah.
Every Wednesday is viewers' choice topic. So go
Yeah.
over to Instagram or leave it in the comments. We need a topic from the viewers every Wednesday.
Yes.
Every Wednesday, the topic comes from the viewers. Okay, and always you can feel free. You are free to come on the panel and talk. It's all positive vibes. We want to set a tone for the morning. So I hope we've given you something today that you can get your Monday started on something
Yes.
inspirational, just to
Exactly.
continue what God is giving you. Okay.
Exactly.
And our
Exactly.
thought for today is just to be humble. And we really could use our subject for our thought for today, really.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
be happy with what God has given you. And you first have to be humble. Get out of your own
Yeah.
way because you're in your own way and you don't even know it. You are in your own way.
Oh wow, that's
Because if you
deep.
were
I
not in
like
your
that.
own way, God would give it to you. It's something hindering
Hmm.
you from getting what you're trying to get. It's you.
Hmm.
You in your own way.
Hmm.
Get out of your own way. You know,
Wow.
but I
Wow. I
don't
got
have
you
the
there.
answers. I'm not judging anybody. I don't have I can't judge anybody. Okay.
Mm.
So that is it. Matrix gang. Good morning. We're just about to
Good
leave.
morning.
Good morning. So glad y'all catch the replay. Catch the
Yeah.
replay. Catch the replay.
And
Catch
you
the
know what
replay.
thing? The replay is so interesting. I catch the
Yes.
replay every day. I go back and I listen, and I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
thank you.
this is
They were saying
good.
they
I'm a
came in late,
person.
but they got it. Thank you. I'm just glad you're here. Oh, also, I have a video. Well, my husband and I have a video that we are premiering today at 1 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. It's actually our first video of the year. I posted a video January 1st, but it was pre-recorded. So this is actually our first video of the year, and we really had to get ourselves together enough energy to do it. So don't judge us. We back, y'all. We coming back. We slow walking, but we
Exactly.
back. We slow walking, but we back, y'all. We are back.
Exactly.
We didn't want to wait too long and lose our audience, but we slow walking. I'm letting you know now. We slow walking, but we back. We back, y'all.
Is Mr. Table on this video? Is he ringing the bell?
Yeah, you can, he's here. He's on the video, but our energy level, we're still working on it. You
Uh-huh.
know, we had to really get because we worked on the video 2 days because I had sent him back and forth to the store to get things and stuff. We had kind of like a little, not a snowstorm, but here in the Mississippi Delta, we don't get snow. So any little
Exactly.
snow that you see, we are mesmerized. We call everybody. It's snowing outside.
Snowing.
It's snowing.
Yeah.
I'm like, ain't no but a few ice trick. It's gonna melt before it hit the ground. But here in the Mississippi Delta, that's big to us. We gonna call everybody all over town. It's snowing, y'all. It's snowing. You
Snowing. Look
know,
outside.
yeah, that's small town living.
You know something? I literally had hubby Saturday night, early Sunday morning, around 1 o'clock. Go look outside. They say it's snowing.
We all outside looking, and my husband said, "Get in here, close that cold door." Yeah, but but
Hey, look, girl. Yesterday, about 3 o'clock, the sun was shining. I'm like,
yeah, it melted before it even hit the ground. But I sent him out to the store. Actually, Saturday I really wanted to get out and go, and he was like, "No," he said it's been raining. He said, just he didn't want the baby out, so I gave him a long list, and I called him. I said, "Did you get anything on the list?" Because it's a Greek meal that we made. We accepted a challenge by Carter's Eat, and y'all go check out Carter's Eat channel. So she had my big fat Greek challenge. And so we had to come up with a Greek meal. And y'all know I make everything from scratch. And Mississippi don't have Greek nothing here. So I had to make everything from scratch. And I was thinking back and forth to the store to make sure I had every ingredient that I needed. And so Saturday he went to the store, and yesterday he went back to get a few more things. So it took us 2 days to do the video. You kept
Mhm.
calling. You said, "Is the video done?" I said, "No." And I actually got tired. I said, "I just don't even have the strength to even do it." I said, I don't even feel like I want to just get back in bed. I didn't even have the
Mhm.
strength to just, to get the video done, but I knew I had to push through and get it done, or it wouldn't
I
have got
was so
done.
waiting on that video, girl. I was so waiting on it.
Honey,
Every time I called you, you never answered. And mom was like, "Where's she at?" I
the
said, "I
my
think she's
problem was
doing a
laying down.
video."
I need to get my strength and my energy back up. At
Oh
times, I
yes.
just don't feel like doing nothing, and
Uh
I know
huh.
that's from that, but that's not my character. I'm usually go getter, but since
Yeah.
this thing, I'm trying to get my energy level back up, and so y'all check us out. It's premiering actually at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. So y'all please go over and watch us. And oh, y'all, we're monetized now, so it's gonna be some different things going on our channel. But we're glad to be back. Glad, even though it took us a couple of days to get it together, I'm glad to be back. I missed everybody, and I have a few things that I want to do, but I'm just praying that God gives us enough strength, to actually, if it's His will to
Hmm.
get everything done. Everything in His
Hmm.
time. But that's it, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. We hope y'all enjoyed our broadcast today. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Any words before we leave, Alexis?
Now you know something. I'm going to go back to our very first
Thank
topic.
you, Maker Game. What you say, Alexis?
I'm going back to our very first topic. It's Monday morning. Don't
Okay.
let nobody steal your vibe. I just got to
Yes.
say that. I got to say that. That just may be something that may just become a part of the show. Don't
Yeah,
let
and
nobody
that's
steal
fine.
your vibe.
Make a gangster. That's how it is in in North Carolina. The whole city shut down. I know it. And look, the kids, they get a little snow. The kids wake up, turn to the news and see they shut the school down for a little bit of snow. And the whole city was shut down. And then
Exactly.
everybody running to the store to get last minute supplies because everything was shut down. Everything is shut
And
down.
you know something I was telling I work with people all across, basically the United States and Canada and different places like that. And I was telling them I was like Mississippi, when bad, when weather snow or something come, we shut down because
We're not
Mississippi is
equipped.
not and they don't even, we don't even have like where they clean the snow off the street. We don't have
Right.
that because no one invests in there because why would you invest in a snowplow when you're not going to use it? It may be time out of a year, and you use
Yeah.
it. So Mississippi don't invest in things like that. It's just
What they
something that
will do,
you just don't
they'll
invest
send the
in.
county workers to clean the county roads, keep the county roads
And
clear. That's
like
the
put
best
salt
way.
on the road, but that's about it. But
That's it. You're
there's
not
no
gonna get no.
investment in nothing like that. There's
Mm-mm.
no investment.
Y'all, let me tell y'all this one thing since you brought it up, and I'm gonna get on out of here. When I worked out of town, and the road will be bad, and I'll tell anybody, I love my life, and I'm not gonna risk my life to go to a job. And if something happens to me, you got my job posted the very same day, and you may send a flower to my family. I'm not gonna risk my
Exactly.
life. And we had a new administrator one time, and it was time for my review, and a 9 is the highest that you can get. He gave me a 9 on everything except dependability. And he had been there like 3 years, and I worked there for almost 10 years. I'm like, why you give me a 6 on dependability? And I'm here every day. And sometimes I'm late, going home. I said, why I get a 6? Oh, because when it snowed, when it snowed that one time, you didn't come in. I said, well, you're gonna give me a 6 every year on this same thing. If you hear I'm here, you gonna always give me a 6 because I'm not risking my life coming down the road. And then he had the nerve to tell me we was gonna send the maintenance guy to get you. I said, he human. He can slide off the road and have a wreck too. I'm not trusting my life for somebody else.
Exactly.
I said, you're gonna always give me a 6 in that area. That's why you gave me a 6. You're gonna always give it to me. He looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, do you really think I'm gonna risk my life to come down this slipping and sliding on some ice? All those bridges I have to cross, you got me mixed all the way up.
Exactly. Exactly.
Like it ain't even worth it. This job ain't even worth my life.
Exactly.
But anyway,
Exactly.
so the Emery family's asked, are we going to do a membership? My husband and I haven't talked about a membership, but it has crossed my mind. But right now, I want to make sure that if we do get a membership, that it's worth the people's time and money. I don't want to give a membership and not giving people nothing for their money. People work hard for their money
Exactly.
out here. So if I'm going to have a membership with the different levels now, I'm going to make sure that I'm giving the people some quality, something that they can see. Something that they, feel like that their money was well used and they have been taken advantage of, because people work hard out here for their money. And that if somebody think enough of your channel to invest in your channel, then you want to make sure you get them something for their money. So I do have a few things in mind, but I don't want to rush into it. I want to make sure I have all my ducks in a row. So yeah, that's something that we are going to eventually do. But I just want to make sure I give people, something for their money and not just getting their money every day. Sweet Reed. If you go back and look at Friday's broadcast, you will see that we highlighted your channel. We highlighted Sweet Reed and 755 Media on Friday. So go back and catch that replay. Okay. So we're gonna go. It's already 7:08, y'all. We're gonna get on out of here. I want everybody to be blessed, stay safe,
Oh
love
yes.
on your people. Love on your people. We don't know
Yes.
who, what, when, where, why, but love on your people while you can. Okay. That's it, y'all. Have a blessed Monday. Be productive. Do something today. Cross some things out on that to do list. You
Oh
know,
yes.
be productive. Until
Yes.
tomorrow morning. See you later.
See y'all later, and don't let nobody steal y'all vibes.
Yes.